Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. We're going to go over American Solar Advantage and really just explain solar to you to make sure you have a great understanding of solar, the benefits of it, and how it could be used to save you and your family money. Before we get started, we'd like to hear from you. We always ask, what have you heard about solar and what questions would you like answered to make sure we make this as custom to your needs as possible. Okay, so just to recap some things that you've heard about solar. From some people, they say it's awesome and that it saves them a lot of money and they love it. Other people have told you that after going solar, they received huge bills from Edison at the end of the year, and you want to understand that more. And you also heard from some people that it could be very expensive and it takes a long time to pay off, and it may not be worth it. And then some questions that you would like answered is just generally how does solar work? And what are some of our warranties that we offer from American Solar Advantage? Those are all great questions and comments, and I'll be sure to make sure that I answer all those. I wrote them all down, and most of those we'll answer during the presentation, so that's awesome. And anything that is not covered in our presentation, I'll make sure that somewhere inside of there or at the end, I'll address those questions and comments and concerns. Okay, so let's proceed. So who are we? American Solar Advantage, ASA for short, is based in Southern California. ASA specializes in engineering and installing solar PV systems. The two things that are highlighted are specializing in engineering and installation. And you'll notice that, yes, we are a solar company, obviously, but we really don't specialize in selling solar. And I'll explain the difference between specializing in engineering and installation versus companies that specialize in selling solar. It's good to know that ASA employs licensed and experienced engineering and construction and sales staff. 100% of your project will be completed by ASA professionals. We don't use any subcontractors, which means higher quality and more savings for you. 95% of our customers come from referrals, and we're very proud of that. We feel the best compliment that we can get from a customer is referring us to their friends and families and neighbor. And so we're very proud of the fact that 95% of our customers come by way of referrals. ASA uses high quality products from American manufacturers, and we're proud of that as well. So we're on a mission to help more families and businesses like you save money by going solar. Many Americans believe they can't afford solar or don't understand the benefits of solar. So that's why our approach is to first educate and then help you save money. We feel that the more informed you are, the better decision you will make. So first thing we want to make sure we understand clear is your utility. Where is your money going when you pay your utility company? If you were to look at page 2 and page 3 of your bill, you'll notice that you're being charged for all sorts of things. One of the things you're being charged for is actual energy usage, right? So the amount of energy that you use, you're being charged for that, and you would expect that to be so. But you're also being charged things like transmission charges, distribution charges, high usage charges, whatever that means. Nuclear decommissioning charges, that's interesting. Conservation incentive charges, public purpose program charges, new system generation charges, franchise fee, the list goes on and on. The fact of the matter is 65 to 70% of your hard-earned money goes to junk fees. Typically, customers are being charged one of two ways, either through a traditional tiered rate system or a time of use system. So on the tiered rate, it essentially goes like this. If you see the chart here, as your usage goes from the left to the right throughout the month, they start off charging you 17 cents a kilowatt hour, and it goes to 25 cents and then 35 cents, and that varies for different regions. But the point is, what they're showing is the more power you use, the more they penalize you, which is very interesting. In most cases in this country, when you purchase something and you purchase more of it, you get a discount, right? So if you were to go to, a gas station and the first 5 gallons is $3 a gallon, and then the next 5 gallons, they're going to charge you $7 a gallon. And then the last 5 gallons, they're going to charge you $10 a gallon. So what they're telling you is the more gas you put in your car, the more they're going to charge you for that gas, which again, just doesn't make any sense. So if you're not being charged by traditional tiered rates, then you're being charged by what's called time of use. So that means they're charging you different prices during the day for when you use electricity. You notice that during the times of 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., when most people are getting home from work or getting home from school, they're turning on their air conditioner, their TV, they're washing clothes, what have you. They're capitalizing on that by charging you a lot of money for that electricity. So not only are you getting charged for how much you use, you're now getting charged and penalized for when you use power. So they charge high fees to generate electricity at a power plant that are bad for the environment. Obviously, it's very pollutant. And they charge you high fees to transport that power from the power plants that are far away to get to your home. Then they charge you high fees to actually use electricity. So you're being charged to generate it, to transport it, and also to use it. They penalize you again for how much you use and for when you use electricity. They raise electricity rates 7 to 10% every year. You're paying more this year than you did last year, and going to pay more next year than you do this year because of simple inflation that's enforced by the utility. They charge you forever. Really, there's no end in sight. You never stop paying these high bills. As long as you're using their electricity, they're going to continue to charge you those fees. They're going to raise those costs. And again, there's no end in sight. So what this all really means is more money out of your pocket, right? You work hard for your money, and they're finding ways to penalize you and charge you more and more. So with your cell phone company, your cable company, your internet providers, you have options, right? So if you weren't satisfied with your Verizon company, you can go to AT&T, right? Or vice versa. If you weren't happy with Charter, you can go to Dish or DirecTV. So because you have options, that tends to allow you to spend the money the way that you see fit. With your utility company, they're the only game in town, right? So if you're not happy with Edison, you really have nowhere else to go. And they realize that. But what if you had options? What if you had the ability to choose? What would you choose? So let's assume your current average monthly bill is $220 per month. And let's also assume you have 5 utility companies knocking on your door to provide you with 30 years of electricity, right? It's a 30-year partnership. So which one would you choose and why? You see here you have utility 1, which I call the forever plan. You're paying electricity. It goes up every single year. And over the next 30 years, you would spend about $434,000 based off of this example. Utility 2 is a 5-year plan that starts off at $415, which obviously is higher than $220, but it's locked in for 5 years. And after that, it's paid off. And now you got the next 25 years to have free electricity. And the end cost is around $25,000. You have utility 3, which is I call the 10-year plan, which charges $234, which is a little bit more than what you're paying now, right? But it's locked in for 10 years. Cost doesn't go up. And after that 10 years, it's paid off. And you have 20 years of free electricity with this utility company. Utility 4, the 15-year plan, is $183. So right away, you're saving about $40 a month. It's locked in for 15 years. And after that, you have another 15 years of free electricity. And that costs about $33,000. Utility 5, the 20-year plan, it's $166 a month. It's locked in for 20 years. So you know for 20 years, you have the same locked in payment. After that, it's paid off. And you have 10 years of free electricity. And the end result is about $40,000. So looking at these options, is there one or two options on here that makes the most sense to you, sir? Okay, sounds good. And what about you, ma'am? Now, again, you guys don't have to agree. This is really just how you like to spend your money. All right, so what I'm hearing from you, sir, is you're a big fan of utility 2. The cost is obviously a little more than what you're paying now, but you like the idea that that end result price is $24,900. So that's attractive to you. Ma'am, what I hear you say is you like utility number 5 because the cost is a lot lower right away. You're saving about $60 right away, and it's a nice price where you can put that money away for your kids' college fund or just pay down some credit card debt. So I understand. So we usually hear a wide range of answers. And again, there's really no wrong answer. Some people focus on the total cost. And if that's the case, utility 2 sounds the best. And some people focus on the instant savings that they could have from different utilities. And so they go with utility number 5, and obviously 3 and 4 are somewhere in the middle. So out of all these options, is there maybe one on here that just doesn't make sense at all to you? Exactly. Utility one just really doesn't make sense. They're charging you. The rates are going up every single year. And what I like to focus on is that total amount of $434,000. That's almost a $500,000 of your hard-earned money that's going just to turn on your lights and to use your refrigerator. So it wouldn't really make any sense to partner with utility one when you have two, three, four, and five to choose from, where the costs are a fraction of the cost of utility one in the long run. Quite honestly, utility one on the forever plan, you're essentially just throwing money down the drain for the same thing that you can get at a more affordable cost with other utilities. So how does solar work? This video is a great video that explains to you in detail how solar works. So let's watch this video. Okay, any questions on how solar works from watching that video? Okay, well, hearing none, let's move on to some of the benefits that I gathered from watching that video. It's a great investment. It's a low cost investment. It increases property value. And the reason for that is it's actually a fixed asset, just like your granite countertops or your pool or your upgrades that you have in your home. It's actually an asset that you own that adds value to your home. Also, increases property value because of the attractiveness of your home. Let's say you were paying $220 a month for electricity, and so was your neighbor. Same exact home. You decided to go solar and maybe lock in lower rates. Let's go with utility 5. So now you're paying $166 a month, right? So 5 years from now, you're still paying $166 a month, and your neighbor is now paying $322 a month, right? So you guys both put your house up for sale. Same exact home, everything's the same except for you decided to go solar 5 years ago and your neighbor didn't. So when you advertise your home, you can advertise it that has solar, and your energy bill is $166 a month, and that's locked in. Where your neighbor's bill is around $322. Which house do you think is going to be more attractive to the home buyer? Exactly. So that's another reason why solar increases property value, not only because of the fixed asset, but because of the value it brings to the next home buyer. It's a low maintenance investment. There's no moving part, no oil changes, no tune-ups required. It literally just sits on your roof, and it's durable glass that collects energy from the sun. Very cost-effective way to purchase power because it gives you options on how you decide to pay for electricity. And it positively impacts global climate, prevents against global warming. And solar saves families and businesses money. Now, to me, that's the reason why I'm here. Obviously, it's a great investment, increases property value, it's low maintenance, it's cost effective, and it's good for the environment. But those things are icing on the cake. But the real reason that people should go solar is because it actually saves you money. Now, what would you choose? Let's assume you're at work and you need to get home from work and you need gas. And you have gas station A charging $30 and you have gas station B charging $40. Which gas station are you going to, when you leave work, go to? That's a very common answer, gas station A for $30. And it just makes sense why you would say that, because $30 is less than 40, right? Well, again, that's a very common answer. But the purpose of this slide is to get you to ask maybe more questions. Again, how many gallons of gas do you need to get home from work? How much gas are they going to give you? What's the cost of that gas? And what type of gas is it? Gas station A, charging $30, doesn't have any of those answers. Gas station B is charging you $40, but they've done their homework. They've asked you a few questions, and they know that you need 20 gallons of gas to get home. So let's fill in those blanks. Again, gas station A, charging you $30. They have no clue how much gas you need, so they're going to give you 15 gallons of gas. They're going to charge you $2 a gallon. 15 times 2 is your $30, and it's 87 regular gas. Gas station B, they know how much gas you need because they took the time to ask you, how far do you live? They realize you need 20, and guess what? They're going to give you 20 gallons of gas at the same $2 a gallon, and it's going to be 91 premium gas. So now that you have all this information, which gas station is a better choice? Exactly, gas station B makes more sense than gas station A, but at the surface, it appeared that gas station A was a better option. Right? Just to recap, gas station B is $40, but you need 20 gallons. It actually gives you 20 gallons. So you get what you need at an affordable cost instead of just getting what sounds good, right? So $30 sounded good, but at the end of the day, it didn't meet your needs. You're not going to make it home with 15 gallons of gas. And it's not the kind of gas that you would normally put in your car, right? So with ASA, you get what you need, and with them, they sell you what sounds good. Same thing happens every day in the solar industry, right? So all solar companies aren't the same. And so just focusing on cost alone may not be the best way to approach it. It's important to understand what you need. It's important to understand what you're getting. It's important to understand the quality of what you're getting. So what are some of the benefits of American Solar Advantage? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we do solar differently. All solar companies are not the same. Just like all mechanics aren't the same, all car dealerships aren't the same, all plumbers, what have you. And it's the same as in our industry. There's a lot of companies out there that are getting into solar because it's popular, and they're getting into it for the wrong reasons. They don't have the knowledge or the background of solar. And most of the companies focus on selling solar. How much solar can I sell you? And what price sounds good to you? AKA gas station A. We focus on producing the right amount of electricity for you, figuring out how much power you need, how much electricity you use, and then designing a system to meet those needs. Which is why when I first came in here, we made sure we called Edison to get your information so that we know exactly how much power you're using and how much you spend for that power over a year. So with that information, that allows us to custom design a system to meet your needs. So good solar engineering is crucial to the process, and that's one of the things that we specialize in. And our goal is to help, again, families save money, and we do that by making sure we meet your needs. So this is what good solar engineering looks like. So this is a bill of a customer that went solar with us that we were able to help them achieve their goals and lower their energy cost. So some of the other benefits of American Solar Advantage versus some of the most popular companies out there are, let's just go down the list here. So staff, as I mentioned before, all of our staff is in-house. 100% of the people that you'll be dealing with they work for ASA directly. That's sales, engineering, and installation. Most other companies, obviously their sales is in-house, but their engineering is outsourced if done at all, and their installation is done by subcontractors, which means now you have third-party companies on your roof, on your property that you don't know and that you haven't partnered with. So when things go wrong, do you call the subcontractor? Do you call the company you partnered with? There's just a lot of opportunity for quality lost and horrible customer service. The solar panels we use monocrystalline panels versus polycrystalline panels. I'll go over it more in detail what that means. Our panels are made in America. Most of the panels by our competitors are made overseas. The product warranty that we get from our manufacturer is 25 years. And that's pretty standard in the industry. As I mentioned, the panels are pretty durable and there's no moving parts. So you wouldn't expect the panels to have any defects. But the key there is the output warranty, right? Not only are they guaranteeing that the product itself will be free from defect from its physical appearance, but it will also output power at a level it's supposed to for 25 years. Whereas most other panels and most other companies, the product that they use, the panels that they use have a 12-year warranty, which means that although they're warranting for 25 years the durability of the panel, they're only warranting for 12 years that it's going to produce what they say it's going to produce. So that leaves you with a nice looking panel that doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Inverters. Well, we use microinverters, and most of our competitors are using string inverters. And I'll go over that in a minute as well. The key thing to know is that the inverters that we use by the manufacturer offers a 25-year warranty on the inverters that we use. Where our competitors that use string inverters, they get between 5 and 12 years warranty. So again, we want to partner with you for the long haul to make sure that the install is done properly and that the equipment that we use, the manufacturers that we use them from, are going to be long lasting. The installation, the craftsmanship that we stand behind is 25 years, where most of our competitors are doing between 5 and 20 years. The main reason for that we can offer such great warranties is because, again, we don't subcontract out, so that work is being done by people that we've trained and that we feel comfortable putting on your roof. Roof flashing. That's very, very important. One of the most important pieces to this is we will be installing this on your roof and penetrating your roof to make sure this is sturdy and that it's durable. And there's a thing called double flashing and single flashing. Well, we do double flashing, which means we flash it twice. And I'll go over that in another slide. Solar edge guard, just for aesthetics, it's included with us. With most companies, it's an added cost if they offer it at all. Color matching, making sure the conduit that we use is painted to match your roof color and also painted to match your stucco or your side of your house. The last thing we want to do is have a beautiful home that's painted tan and then have a non-attractive stainless steel conduit running down that sticks out. So we paint it, it's included. While most other companies either don't do that or charge an extra fee to have it blend in better. And then system monitoring. We offer monitoring of the system. We monitor it in-house. And we also give you the ability to monitor it to where you have peace of mind in knowing that your system is working properly. And most other companies charge extra for this monitoring. Production guarantee. So we're guaranteeing for 25 years that the system that we install on your roof will produce energy. And very, very important, because at the end of the day, the purpose of going solar is to produce energy to replace the energy that you're spending a lot of money on, right? So we offer a 25-year warranty on the production of our system because we stand behind our engineering. Most other companies don't even talk about or offer these guarantees. One of the reasons I'm educating you is so that if you do talk to other companies, you ask these types of questions. You know, what are your warranties? What are your guarantees? What's your production guarantee? And if they do offer it, normally it's no more than 10 years. And then the percentage that's guaranteed, we guarantee 98%. So if we tell you it's going to produce X amount of electricity, we're going to stand behind that up to 98% to make sure, which is the highest in the industry. Most of our competitors, if they do offer production guarantees, it's somewhere between 86 and 94% and only lasts for up to about 10 years. And another important thing to note, that the reimbursement, if we don't live up to what we say, if we guarantee a certain amount of electricity and it falls short of that, and that shortfall requires you to purchase electricity from your utility, and it's our fault that you're doing so, we'll cover the difference, meaning that we'll cover 100% of the utility cost that you had to go out and purchase because our system didn't produce what it was supposed to. Well, most other companies, it's capped. There's a fixed amount that they will reimburse you for. So if their system doesn't live up to it and you have to go out and purchase power from your utility, you're not going to get it all back, right? And so earlier you had mentioned some of the things you heard was that some of the people that you know are paying two bills. They're paying their solar bill and they have this huge bill with Edison at the end of the year. And the reason that is because the system that they got was not designed to produce what they needed, right? If the system produced what they needed, they wouldn't receive that huge bill. But because it wasn't what they needed, they're receiving a huge bill from their utility. This is why engineering and production guarantees are so important. And I would just make sure that you ask those types of questions if you were to talk to other solar companies. One of the other benefits of American Solar Advantage is I mentioned we use American-made products. Our panel is Solaria, made right here in California, in Fremont, California. One of the higher efficiency panels in the market at 19%. A 25-year product warranty, as I mentioned earlier, and a 25-year production warranty. So I mentioned earlier we use monocrystalline panels, and most of our competitors use polycrystalline panels. I don't want to bore you with too much science and too much detail, but I think it's very important to understand the differences as you're doing your homework. So our panels are made out of the highest grade silicon, while most of the competitors use a low grade silicon. Has a really high efficiency. As I mentioned, our panels are 19%, and most other panels out there range between 13 and 16% efficiency. The efficiency rating means how effectively are they converting the energy from the sun to electricity, right? Very, very important. Our panels yield a higher output, which requires less panels. Because you get more output out of our panels, it requires less panels on your roof than, say, our competitors. They have has longer life expectancy and better warranties, as I mentioned earlier, where their panels have shorter life expectancy and the warranties aren't as good if they exist at all. They perform better at low light conditions. So that means earlier in the morning until dusk in the evening, they're going to continue to produce because they can produce with lower levels of light, where other panels out there perform worse at low light. So you have less time during the day to produce energy. Clearly looking at our panel, it's all black. It's very sleek looking. It's very aesthetically pleasing. While the other panel is blue with all these lines going through it, and it has a silver rim around it, so it sticks out like a sore thumb on your roof. Microinverters versus string inverters. I mentioned earlier we offer microinverters included at no additional cost, while most of our competitors are using string inverters and they charge extra fees if they want to give you microinverter, if they even offer that. Microinverter, as you can see from the picture below, they're small and they fit on the back of each solar panel. So the microinverters are 1-to-1. You get one inverter per panel. Whereas the other one is a large and bulky and is mounted on your home, on the side of your home, as this picture shows. Ours has no single point of failure, meaning that the panels and the inverters all work independently, right, to produce power. Whereas our competitors use a single string inverter, which is one single point of failure, like Christmas lights. If one panel fails, the whole system goes down. If this inverter stops working, which it will after about 12 years based on their warranty, then the whole system goes down, right? So they're all working together where ours are working independently. Again, it's a longer life based off the ones that we use, and we have better warranties. Theirs has a shorter life and not such good warranties. Ours you can't even see because they're hidden and tucked under each panel, whereas our competitors, it's an eyesore that has to be mounted on the side of your house, taking up more of your home real estate. This is our 25-year production guarantee. In writing, in our contract, we put our money where our mouth is. So if we tell you that our system is going to produce 16,077 kilowatt hours, then we put that in writing. With this example, this customer was using about 15,000 kilowatt hours a year. We got that information when we talked to the utility company. We designed a system for them that produced a little bit more than what they needed, and we guaranteed that for the next 25 years. So double flashing, what that really means is that when we go onto your roof and we have to do the footings to penetrate through your roof to make sure the system is sturdy, we want to make sure we seal those holes, right? So we seal those holes with tar, and then you can see here we put a metal piece to cover that up. That's called flashing, and that's where most other companies stop. Where with us, not only do we flash it on your roof connection, we replace your tile with another piece of flashing that goes over the top, right? And this allows you to have double flashing. You have leak protection at the top layer and leak protection at the bottom layer. And another bonus is you get to keep all the tiles that we remove because we don't put them back. We use a tile replacement technology, so that gives you extra tiles to have in your garage or in your shed in case something were to happen to some of your other ones. Most of our competitors, after they get done putting the initial flashing in, they have to drill through your tile, breaking a good amount of them in the process, and they drill a hole in your tile and put that over the footing, and that can be a nightmare as well. This is the monitoring that's included at no additional cost on your mobile, on your iPad, on your phone, on your computer, to log in 24/7 to see how your system's performing on each panel level, how much was produced and how much was consumed, and this is all included. The picture to the right just shows we do a good job of painting our conduits and painting the structures that we install to make sure they blend in to be aesthetically appealing. Because again, most of our customers come by way of referral, and we want you to be proud of your system. We want you to be able to brag about it and to be able to refer your friends and families to us. So this is some of the installs of our competitors. You can see here in the upper left, they use ugly silver rails that stick out. The picture right below that, look how high off the roof those panels are, right? There's a large gap that just doesn't look very nice. To the far upper right corner, you have this ugly blue poly panels, as I mentioned earlier, that just aren't attractive and don't blend in well. Bunch of lines on them. You have your silver railing. Just doesn't look nice. And the picture below is the kind of craftsmanship that you get from most other companies. They install these conduits on your roof, and down the side of your house. They're not painted, they don't blend in, and really it's just an eyesore. And when you look at our installations, one thing you notice right away is the black panels blend in really well. We install them super low to your roof. We have the solar edge guard. You can see it very well to the picture to the upper right hand corner. You don't notice any conduits sticking out, any silver railing, any blue lines, any blue and white lines going through them. Very sleek and very, very curb appealing. If you zoom in to the picture to the lower right hand corner, there is a conduit going from those array of panels to the second array of panels. The reason you can't tell is because it's painted, so it blends in very nicely. And again, these are the things that we do to make sure that your system is installed the way that it needs to be. So why American Solar Advantage? We customize the system to meet your needs. We help you stop paying high energy bills by giving you options. We save thousands of dollars on electricity with no money down and no upfront cost. So to recap, we purchase all the material, we pay for all the labor, we pull all the permits, we do the installation, we turn your system on, and then about a month later, you start paying lower bills, and all at no upfront cost to you. So really, you get to enjoy doing what you've always done, which is turn your lights on, watch your TV, use your refrigerator, and just pay less money to do so. Just makes perfect sense. We have a solution for you with multiple purchase, finance, and lease options. Good credit, bad credit, no credit program. So we've really designed a program that works for all Americans. So when you think about all the things that we give you, the warranties, the guarantees, the production guarantee, the engineering that we do, the wonderful installs that we give you, the panels that we use, the microinverters that we use, the fact that we paint all the conduits, we give you monitoring, and we give you at an affordable cost. It's really quite simple why to choose American Solar Advantage, because honestly, we're the best at what we do. Do you have any questions?